Okay, so Mistress is back. I'm sitting in the backyard, all the way in the back by my chicken coops, because honestly, I love to spend time with my ladies, and I don't really see them as much during the day, because Mistress has a lot of crap going on in the house, and I can tell my chickens are very stressed. Their eggs are small. They're not getting attention from me because I'm dealing with all kinds of horse shit in the house here. And at night, I like to come and sit by my birds and just kind of, kind of hang with them. And one of my nosy neighbors that can't mind his effing business came into the backyard here and tried to go to look for someone, to look for a cupcake. And he didn't even see me sitting in the back. And he doesn't even close the frickin' fence either. Like, what an asshole. And I said, he's not here. He goes, where is he? I said, he went to go buy beer like he normally does. So I guess he's not working tonight, and he decided to take the night off to go drinking like he usually does. And, his car's not here. Wow, it would be nice if his friend actually, opened his eyes and fucking paid attention before you opened the gate. It's kind of funny. He didn't even see me sitting all the way in the back. So anyway, let me talk for a little bit more, and then I'm going to be going to my room for the evening and relaxing because I've had a very stressful week, and it's not fun. I have to tell you, I'm a victim of narcissistic abuse syndrome. That's all I'm going to say. And, it's kind of interesting. When you're in a relationship with somebody and they turn out to be a narcissist, they make your life a living fucking hell. And I'm not going to be talking about this anymore on the show because it's not worth my breath. But what I will say is, when you go into a BDSM type relationship with people, you want to make sure you set boundaries and rules from the beginning. My boundaries and my rules are you are to do as I say, not as I do, basically. And it's kind of an interesting thought. You make rules, you make guidelines and boundaries, and if somebody can't hold up their end of the bargain or their end of the deal, then that a relationship should be reassessed because of the fact that, submissives are not the ones that dictate what they want out of the total power exchange. Now, they can to some degree, but not like, oh, you are doing this, or we're going to do that. Or, it's not up to them. Where I come from, my generation, I like a female-led relationship where the female makes all the decisions and bases the relationship on her. And the guy, of course, most people who don't know what an FLR, female-led relationship, that turns into an LTR, which is a long-term relationship or a lifetime relationship. Each mistress and each master has their own set of rules and what they like to abide by. So, I'm just only speaking for myself. Generally, I'm not speaking for anybody else. But when you are my submissive, like Slave Paula, he's been under my tutelage on and off for 14 years, okay? And I've actually been talking to him quite a bit lately about the situation where I'm living because he knows me and knows a lot about it. And he feels terrible for me. But one thing I will tell you is as he was my slave, he never once in the 14 years ever overstepped his boundaries. He actually did what I had asked him to do. Like, there was a period in our relationship where he was kind of smothering me in the beginning. So I got really upset and I kind of made him, I ignored him for a while. I gave him a little punishment, a little ignoring punishment, because I didn't want him to kind of cross my boundary. And at the time, I was married, and my husband was like, what the hell? Your slave is involved in all of our shit. And I'm like, well, I'm going to have a talk with him, okay? And there were times where I had another submissive. I had a whole harem of submissives at one time. I had Paula, I had Tammy, I had Noah, I had a female submissive at one time also, and they were all basically dominance and submission type relationships. There was no MS, there was no sex, there was no nothing. They were just kind of serving me, whether they were doing domestic servitude or they were coming to clean my house, or giving me foot massages, or kind of pampering me, whatever I had felt was necessary for that type of relationship. So, Paula has been my slave on and off for 14 years, and I'm glad that I still talk to him, actually, because he knows me better than I pretty much know myself. And he told me today that he's glad my old relationship is over with my ex-partner because of the fact that it was becoming too much. It's one thing when you tell somebody you don't love them anymore and you don't want to be with them, but why are you stalking me everywhere? Why are you still trying to tell me what I could and can't be doing? First of all, no motherfucker tells Mistress Candy what to do. That's number one. And even if I wasn't a mistress, no man is going to tell me what I can and can't do. I'm sorry. I cannot shut my dominance off. Some people can switch it on and off with like a light switch, but I'm not one of those people. I can't, I'm always dominant. And why? Because I'm a Leo, and that's kind of like just how I am, So basically, tonight's show was done in 2 short segments because of the fact that I had an intruder in the backyard. Like I said, one of the neighbors came looking for Cupcake, and I just really am pretty shocked that the fella actually came into the fucking backyard and didn't even realize, like, the guy has eyes, right? You don't realize somebody's car is not in the driveway. It's kind of comical if you ask me. But anyway, I'm actually going to tidy up the show tonight because there's activity in the front yard and I don't know what's going on. So I hate to be rude and cut off, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of taste of BDSM, about TPE and collars. And if you're a submissive who is dismissed by a mistress or a master, don't ever ask for your collar back because it is not yours to keep. It was given to you for a time period when you were under servitude to the mistress or master. And once you take that collar off or the collar is taken from you, it is relinquished. You do not have the balls or the audacity to ask for that collar back as a memento or a keepsake. For what? The relationship is dead. It's kind of really fucking hilarious if you ask me. So if anybody's listening to this show tonight and has any questions about it, you can message me on social media. You can find me on twitter.com at MistressC69. You can follow the radio station network, which is at BDSM Alive Radio, which is actually BDSM Alive Radio Network. And you can go to the websites, which I have listed, www.MistressCandy69.net or www.bdsmaliveradio.com. And you can follow me on Instagram. I have 2 accounts, at The Real Mistress C69 and at The Real Mistress Candy69. And again, I want to thank Blitzkid for allowing me to use your song, She Dominates, for my radio show. And I want to thank Spunk Lube for sponsoring our show. Oh, my show, excuse me. It's my show now, Mistress Fly Solo. And let me tell you, I am so glad I do. Next week, you're going to have a much better show for Mistress when I'm in a different mindset. I was very upset tonight, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to go on at all. So I'm kind of just doing this tonight because I really haven't been on in a couple of weeks. And I'm going to be making a new show next week. Full hour and a half, full 2 hours. If anybody is interested in becoming a guest on the show, you can message me at social media, or you can send me a instant message on Twitter or Instagram, and I would love to have anyone on as a guest. If you're a submissive, if you're a dom, if you're a switch, or if you're somebody who's new looking to be into the lifestyle, I can always interview you and ask you some questions, and we can have a Dear Mistress column, and you fellas and people out there can ask me questions, and I can answer them on the air for you. So thanks for listening tonight, and have a great week, and stay kinky, and I hope you enjoyed listening to the Whip Appeal Show by MistressCandy69 on the BDSM Alive Radio Network. Thank you, and have a great night, everybody.